Hey guys, Sam from Manfa's Makes. How are you all? Welcome back to all my returners, and hi to any newbies. It's so great to have you here. Please do stick around a while, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbie. They are free. So it's time for this week's episode of Crochet Catch Up, and that is where I catch you up on all the crochet I have managed to do in the past week. Now, there isn't too much to show you. You have already seen the big FO of the week, which is my Manfa project, which was to use my subscription yarn. Now, the subscription yarn that I get is the Mega Yarn Cake from Puff Flower. I will link her YouTube channel and her website down below. Please do go check it out. It is phenomenal. I won't go into too many details because if you want to know all of that, go and see yesterday's video where I talk about it in much more depth. But I will show it another time because I love it. This is the colorway that I was inspired in my thoughts, and she made it a reality and gifted it to me free for my birthday, and I put it into the project that I had envisaged using it in as well. C2C blanket. You've got the black pot overflowing with gold in the corner under a beautiful rainbow, and then I ran out of yarn because I am rubbish at estimating for C2Cs, and I added a bit of blue sky, some clouds, and a tiny bit of sun in the following corner as well. So here it is. There's my pot of gold, the gold itself, the beautiful rainbow, the sky, the clouds, and the corner sun as well. Like I said, I went into this in more detail yesterday. This was the majority of my crochet time this week. I hyper-focused. I was ploughing away and wanting to get it done because I have other things that I need to put my time, love, and energy in. And selfishly, I've wanted my blankie. So that is this week's FO. And yes, I absolutely love it. So because that took most of my time and energy this week, there isn't an awful lot else to show you, but there is a little bit. So I am trying to focus on doing some more charity donation bits and pieces, especially with my scraps, because if you're anything like me, you will have a ton of scraps lying around. I am not overly keen on scrappy projects. I will make them occasionally. It just depends what it is and whether I'm down for it. I know a lot of you love a good scrappy blanket, for example. But for me, I get a lot of scraps when I make my smaller projects, such as amigurumi. There isn't an awful lot left to put into much more. So I decided to focus on a couple of charity things this year that will use those scraps up without it being put into a bigger project. The first thing that I am going to show you is the beautiful Rose over at Rose Likes Crochet. I will link her in the description box if you are not familiar. Although if you are not familiar, why not? Because she is amazing. Absolutely love her channel. She has chosen a new charity this year to support. And even though she lives all the way in the US, these makes that I am contributing are small and quite lightweight, and I have decided that I am going to make them over the course of the next few months. She has more details, so do click that channel link and check out to find more information. The charity she is supporting are the Generous Crafters. Every month there is a different item that people can make and donate, but there are 2 things that you can make the whole way through, and she is accepting donations up until the end of October, I believe. And one of the continuous makes are 6-inch granny squares. Now, I love making granny squares, not so keen on putting squares together. I still have 2 blankets worth of squares that I still have not put together. I'll get to it eventually, but I need to be properly motivated to do it. But all they want are the squares, and they will connect them their end into whatever projects they need. over there. So I am just going to make a few here and there when I get the time, put them in a poly mailer, and when the poly mailer is full, that is when I will send them to Rose to pass on to the generous crafters. If you want to know more about the generous crafters, if you want to know about the specific monthly makes, then like I said, Rose has all the information over there. She can fill you in a bit more detail. Last month I managed to get 12 of the 6-inch granny squares done. So far this month I've only got 2, so it's only a smidgy start. I am using a 6mm dots, the beautiful pink one. And like I said, I am just plucking random scrap balls out of my stash and eating them up, or using them up into these squares so that I can maintain and tackle my scrap bin a little bit. So the 2 that I managed to get done this time are these. Let me just grab them for you. Continuing on with some yarn that or a yarn scrap. Oh, let me start that again. Continuing on with a yarn scrap ball that I had started to use last month. I have this one, and there are little flecks of pink in there, but I don't know how easy you're going to be able to see that. Not at all really, but there are really, really light elements of like a pinky purple. You might be able to see the odd little sheen and fleck there, but then it does get pinkier as the ball progresses. So there is the second one. So I will obviously block these as well, because this yarn is one of those the yarns with a sheen, and they can kind of like restrict back in and shrink a bit. So I will block them and make sure that they do become the 6 inches that are required. But I managed to squeeze in another 2 this week, so that's 14 in total, but 2 for the month of May, which is fabulous. Thank you, Rose, for drawing our attention to this, and it feels wonderful that I'm going to be able to help you in this small way. And then the other charity project, and this isn't going to be a very long video, guys. I do apologise, because like I said, most of my crochet time was taken up by the C2C blanket that I've just shown you. But you know that the other charity project that I have ongoing are the pairs of crochet hearts for a UK charity called Hearts Healing Hearts. They are like a branch off of the main charity, which is Needles, Hooks, Angels and Premies, NHAP for short. They make a huge variety of different things for a lot of different causes. It is just a lady that accepts the donations and she posts them off to wherever they are needed. It is non-for-profit. She funds it herself. Obviously, us donators, we donate things as often as we can. Some of us do contribute to postage costs as and when we can as well, because it isn't a massive organisation. It is one lady with a huge support team of donators that are just trying to help and comfort and plug a need for various sectors of society, using our craft and our supplies to help fulfill that, really. And the Hearts Healing Hearts, they like matching pairs of hearts. They need to be between 1 to 4 inches big, using bright colours, no dark colours. And the idea behind it is, if a family is separated from a loved one, the family can have one heart, the loved one can have the matching heart, and they are forever connected through these little crochet symbols and, you know, little bits of comfort. Various places like them, hospitals, you know, you can't be by your loved one's side 24/7, hospices, you know, towards the end of life, again, you can't be by their side 24/7, so you have that connection. And funeral homes, when you are forever parted from your loved one, if your forever parted loved one has one of the hearts and you keep the other, you are connected even after you have permanently and physically been separated. So in my opinion, it is such a worthwhile, gorgeous idea and concept. It brings a lot of comfort to people in some of their darkest moments. And anything that can give someone a bit of comfort, I am all up for helping to do. And it is a great way for me to use up my scraps and smaller skeins that I don't have enough of for, you know, a more substantial project. And I'm helping lots and lots of people without ever meeting them. That is the gorgeous thing about charity. And the hearts really don't take long to make up, guys. About 4 or 5 minutes a heart. I have set a loose goal for myself of at least 40 pairs a month, and then 2 months this year I want to up that to 50 for the month, so that by the end of the year I will have done 500 pairs of hearts, which I think is a fantastic total to aim for. I am on track. I have done 40 pairs a month, and then last month I did my first lot of 50 pairs. I am not at the finished total for the month of May. We still have quite a bit of May to get through, so there's still time to get to that goal. I have only done a quarter of it. I've done 10 pairs. I grabbed a skein of white cotton. I don't have enough to make anything substantial. I have a huge cotton stash. So I just grabbed that skein. It is Hobby Lobby's I Love This Cotton. And so far I have managed to get 10 pairs, and I still have a substantial bit. So I will just get as many pairs out of this one as I can, and then I will go back to my scraps. But I haven't weaved in the ends yet, guys. I did some of these on my live last weekend, and after I got off the live, I was determined to at least get, you know, 10 pairs done, so I am a quarter of the way, because the days and weeks are just flying by, guys. I don't know if you feel the same. So that's 10 pairs or 20 hearts in total so far. They're all in white. White is the perfect colour. And then the last pair there as well. So I do have 10 pairs of hearts on the go. Of course, I will weave in all the ends. I will join them together and package them up super lovely like I always do. And I still have at least another 30 pairs to make. But that is a good, healthy start for May. And like I said, these tiny little things make such a huge difference to the families that receive them. For those, I am using my 5mm dots, and like I said, various colours as long as they're not too dark. So there are those, and then I've only got one more thing to show you. I was hoping to get another full cake into the next project, but I didn't quite get there, guys. You know, like I said, my hyper focus was the Manfa Mal blanket. I did manage to get that done with all the ends weaved in. I got 2 granny squares for Rose. I just snuck that in. I got my 10 pairs of hearts. I snuck that in. And then I snuck in the progress on this last project. Like I said, I was aiming for another full cake. Didn't quite get there, but I've definitely got at least 3/4 of the cake in, 2/3, 3/4, something like that. Again, for the next project, I am using my 5mm dots. And yeah, the only reason why I got some time on this project I'm about to show you, the granny squares and the hearts, is I normally batch record on a Saturday, but last weekend I actually filmed on the Sunday, so I had bought myself an extra day to get a bit more done. Otherwise, you would have seen the Manfa Mal's blanket on Wednesday, and there would be nothing to show you today. So on the Saturday, I tried to get, you know, those charity makes started, and a few to show, and obviously a bit of progress on this one. This one is going to be a baby blanket for charity as well. My gorgeous friend Christina over at Bella and Ginetto, I will link her channel in the description box. She has a friend who is on the same army base that she works on, or military base. I don't know if it's army. I shouldn't say army, the military base. Christina lives in Sicily, but it is a US military base that she works in. Christina is a teacher. Well, her colleague has come up with the lovely idea of making up some new arrival hampers for newborn babies of people that are living on the base, you know, the babbies of the military personnel. And I have been jumping on my blanket kick with blankets for these hampers. And also to eat up as much of my stash as I can, because my stash is getting out of control. So it's kind of a double whammy win for me. It will be beautiful for these new parents to receive a gorgeous handmade item for their new precious bundle. I have already done the blue ripple, and the squares that I mentioned earlier, they are going to be blankets for this drive as well. And this project is another blanket for this drive. Christina has said it doesn't have to be blankets though, as long as they are baby makes, you know, kind of think of cardigans, booties, burp rags, bibs, anything baby related that you can crochet, they are going to be more than grateful to receive. And I am more than happy to play my part in that as well. I do plan to make lots over the course of this year. And I am doing a pretty good job so far, if I do say so myself. So this one, I am again using the Sunflower Yarn Spectrum DK from the Knitting Network. It's the same yarn that I used in the Blue Ripple one. They are 100-gram cakes, approximately 360 meters or 394 yards. They are 100% acrylic, made in Turkey. Recommend 4mm needles, no hook recommendation. It is the Knitting Network. Machine wash up to 30 degrees Celsius. Do not iron, no tumble, do not bleach. It's acrylic, guys. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine if you did tumble on low, but you do you. This is the colour 004 in Pisces. This is not all of the colours, but this is all that is left of the second cake. So as you can see, I nearly made it, just not quite. For this blanket, I am using the stitch tutorial from Glenda, who is Creative Grandma. I will link her channel and her tutorial in my description box, should you fancy using that stitch in a project of your own. Really simple, gorgeous, but so textured and so pretty. It is called the Lovey Dovey stitch, which is just precious. And like I said, I am part way through that second cake. Let me put that to the left, otherwise I'm going to pull my stitches out. And oh, and of course I need to put the cake on the right, because that's where I've left off. As you can see, where the blue stitch marker is where I was at last time. So you can see that it's shades of purple and cream and pink and mauve. It is absolutely gorgeous. This is a colourway that Manfa absolutely adores. So from that blue stitch marker, I have indeed put all of that progress in. Now this is a smaller baby blanket. I followed the chaining and the stitch count that Glenda did. I crochet really tight though, guys. Maybe I could have gone up a hook size or two and it would have ended up bigger. It is, pretty diddy. But, people need blankets for tummy time. They need car seat blankets. They need stroller pram blankets. So it's going to be long, because I'm going to put all 5 cakes of this in it. So it's going to be plenty long enough. It's just not super wide, but it's going to be fine. It's a baby blanket. So there we go. All of that from that stitch marker there all the way up is how much I have managed to get into my blanket this time around. Show you the stitch up close. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a beautiful texture. So super simple. It looks complicated, but it's really, really not, guys. It is absolutely stunning. I love it. I'm super pleased with it. And hopefully the family that get gifted this blanket love it as much as I do as well. So as you can see, I'm about to go into the more lilac, back to the creamy white, and then to the pale pink. So hopefully I will be able to at least get the rest of this cake and maybe start the third. Who knows? I am going to let you know, though, that next week I have got a Pick My Whip update video planned. So I need to make sure that my Pick My Whip is completed before that video is due. So this week, as you're watching this, I will be focusing on my Pick My Whip project so that I can have it done and ready to film for that video. And then when the Pick My Whip is done and shown, I can go back to rotating through the projects that I have already got on my hooks, possibly start some more, who knows, but I need to get my Pick My Whip done. So next crochet catch up might be a little sparse as well. It just depends how quickly I can get the Pick My Whip project made. So that is all I managed to get done this week. Still, you know, a fair amount. But getting that FO of the Manfa Mouse blanket is brilliant because it will be a big boost to my totals for May's Craft Yourself Free. And I can move on to Manfa Mouse number 3 make, which is super exciting, which means that collaboration is going at full steam. And then there's just one final thing to do, guys. It is time for my monthly pattern giveaway. Every month of the year, I am giving you the chance to win a pattern from Ravelry. Well, it could be a pattern or a couple of patterns. It depends what you want to do. You can have a pattern or patterns up to the value of 10 Great British pounds. So you can either have one more pricey that you would never justify spending your own money on, but you can use Manfa's money, or you might be savvy and think, oh, I can get 2 or 3 for that amount and I can have 2 or 3 to add to my pattern collection. Whichever way you want to do it, guys, that's fine. Obviously follow all of the YouTube rules and guidance for giveaways. It's not sponsored or affiliated by anyone. It is my money and it is a digital prize to cut down on shipping costs and things like that. What I need you to have, though, is you do need to have a Ravelry account. If your name gets picked, you will need to give me your Ravelry account name and links to the patterns that you want. And then I will go into Ravelry, I will purchase your patterns as a gift and have them sent straight to you. So I never ever see the pattern so that I cannot pinch it for myself as well as gift it to you. I would never do that. If I wanted the pattern, I would buy a second copy for myself. So I never see it. It just gets sent straight to you if you are the lucky winner. So the way I'm going to do it is I am going to give you a keyword. If you want to be in with a chance of winning May's pattern giveaway, then you need to include the keyword in your comment in the comment section down below. And as your comments come in, I will put your name against a number. And then in about a week's time, I will use the person that lives in my phone to pick the winning number. And you will be the winner. It's as simple as that. So what keyword are we going to use? Let's use the word sunflower. Why not? Put the word sunflower in your comment, and it's appropriate because we're in spring heading towards summer, and you know, sunflowers are big, bright and beautiful. Yeah, use the word sunflower in your comment and you will be put into the drawing for it. So good luck. And hopefully you will know who has won in about a week or so's time. So thank you very much again for joining me today, guys. Sorry, I've got itchy eye. Thank you for giving me your time in all of my videos this week. I really do appreciate it. Sorry the videos haven't been as long. They've been pretty short and sweet, but sometimes that's just how it is. Nice short sweet videos, sometimes longer videos. It just depends how much Manfa waffles on, right? Anyway, enjoy the weekend coming up. I hope you have had a fabulous week. Once again, I love and appreciate you loads for giving me your time. And I will be back very, very soon. But until then, stay safe, be kind, look after one another, get some good quality time in with your loved ones and get some good quality crafting time in. I will see you in the next one or around the YouTube streets. Bye, guys. Love you loads. Good luck.